343 doesn't get the battle rifle. Whoa, 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 hold your horses there, smart commenter. I know what you're immediately thinking. 343 doesn't get the battle rifle? 343 doesn't get Halo. Oh man, I can just hear your heavy breathing as you're pounding away at that keyboard right now. All right, relax. All right, we're not getting into all that today, okay? We're not talking about all that. You can feel what you want about 343 going into this video, but we're not going to be talking about all that. We're going to be focusing on the battle rifle. Yeah, the battle rifle. You heard that. The battle rifle. Not the whole franchise, not the whole series. We're not doing all that, okay? Just the battle rifle. Which is probably the most iconic weapon in the franchise. I think we could probably agree, right? I mean, I think the battle rifle is the main utility weapon identified with Halo. You know, if you look at the actual weapon starts throughout all the games, it's not super consistent because it changes a lot, but either way, the battle rifle I think is the one that stands out as the main weapon of the franchise, the main utility weapon that people think of when they think of Halo. So with that in mind, Infinite's probably going to return to BR starts, right? I mean, probably. That's unconfirmed, but I think that's like we're probably going to have BR starts in Infinite. Anyways, I was playing Mythic Rumble on Halo 5. It's like maybe a testing for Infinite. I mean, it's possible, who knows? I mean, you know, it's kind of like a more classic style hybrid, advanced sort of classic movement style thing. It's basically just classic Halo, but with a thruster pack and the stabilize function on Forge maps that are meant to emulate more classic feeling Halo maps. I don't know, it's okay. I didn't play it much when it first came out, but, you know, I was playing the free-for-all version of it. And, you know, there was something about it that was holding me back, that wasn't allowing me to really get into it the way I like to play free-for-alls, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. It's that Halo 5's Halo 2 VR is fucking dog shit. And then I thought about it even further, and this is where it gets crazy, guys. 343 hasn't made a great battle rifle yet. You mean 343 hasn't made a great Halo yet? Hey, not on my video, okay? You take that shit elsewhere, alright? Alright, so 343's battle rifles are kinda whack, in my opinion, so let me get into what I'm talking about. 343's first battle rifle was in Halo 4, and starting off on a bad note, the decision was made to change the battle rifle from what was traditionally always a 4-shot since its introduction in Halo 2, to now a 5-shot, much like you see with the DMR in Halo Reach. Now, this was a shock to a lot of people as, you know, Halo's most iconic weapon, the battle rifle, was always a 4-shot, and that's how people knew it. That's how people liked it. That's what people wanted to think the battle rifle was going to be always. You know, the classic 4-shot, kill somebody from any range, use them, run and gun weapon. It's your perfect go-to tool. It's your battle companion. It's what you want to keep by your side. But in Halo 4, they made it a 5-shot. Really weird. It actually killed on the first bullet of the 5 bursts, but the reason they did this was because Halo 4 essentially wanted to copy Call of Duty and making a create-a class system, which allowed you to choose from 4 different starting weapons, and also allowed you to pick your grenades, your sidearm, all of that stuff. You had a Spartan ability. It was lame, but the battle rifle was one of 4 options. There was the battle rifle, the DMR, the carbine, and the light rifle with an introduction of the Promethean weapons. That's not the important part. The battle rifle became a 5-shot in order to balance it amongst the other rifles and make it not too overpowered. This was not a super popular thing that happened, and this basically made the DMR a just absolute monster gun. The DMR was completely overpowered and just absolutely dominated every single weapon at all ranges. The aim assist was extra strong, and it's easier to land 5 single shots than have to land 12 perfect bullets. And then including another shot from the BR. It was a little bit more difficult to use the BR, so nobody really bothered, but later they ended up updating it. So from the very get-go, their battle rifle was whack because it was a 5-shot and not as effective. The main weapon of the franchise was no longer a viable weapon in all scenarios. In really most scenarios, it wasn't viable because everybody was just using the DMR. 343 realized this and decided to do something about it. To their credit, they ended up actually tuning the weapon, nerfing the other weapons, and making the battle rifle a 4-shot once again, and it once again became the main weapon in the franchise. However, Halo 4 still wasn't very fun.
Try again.
While the tuning felt really good and it was nice to see a 4-shot battle rifle return, it overall still just didn't feel that great. It was kind of a too easy in a lot of scenarios, and also weirdly inconsistent. I don't really know, maybe that was just user error on my end, but overall, Halo 4 still wasn't that fun of a game, at least in my opinion. So, you know, for me, it just didn't really stick around, and I still don't love that battle rifle. While it's okay, and it works, and it's fine, I guess, it still, to me, is not that battle rifle that we want in the franchise, that I want to see in Infinite, you know? 343's next attempt at the battle rifle showed up in Halo 2 Anniversary. Now, this game launched alongside the initial launch with the Master Chief Collection in 2014. A lot of guys remember. That launch was a disaster. We all remember that. But H2A's, my biggest complaint about H2A, I didn't like it. There was not enough maps. There was not enough this and that, whatever. We can complain about whatever we want. But overall, it couldn't get past the main weapon. The battle rifle just never felt right to me. It felt extremely inconsistent, and it became a very frustrating weapon to use. It seemed like you could hit 4 shots regularly because it felt like a very easy gun to walk around and aim, and it overall still feels that way. Even playing this, you know, getting footage for this video, it still feels that way. However, it ultimately feels very easy to aim, but it doesn't feel consistent, which is why I really hate it. I don't like the way this gun feels. Now, maybe I'm just terrible, maybe I'm just inconsistently aiming, but if you can look at this slowed down footage here, you can see some inconsistencies with this weapon. Certain headshots are very generous, certain headshots are not. This is my problem. I don't like that there is so much inconsistency, and that is just a problem for me. The gun may feel okay to walk around and aim, I suppose. When I look, you know, when I play this game more recently, it feels like it handles well. I just don't like the inconsistency, and I feel like it's way too easy. Much like the Halo 4 battle rifle, which again is a reoccurring issue with the 343 battle rifle. The year is 2015. Halo 5's coming out, and 343 is really gonna nail it this time.
Infinity immediately.
Negative infinity. I don't like it.
117, stand down.
This is your one chance to come home peacefully.
Who the fuck is you?
Well, we know how that campaign went. Thankfully, that's not what we're talking about in this video. But hey, at least the multiplayer went well with Halo 5. Sort of. I mean, it went a lot better than Halo 4 in the launch of the Master Chief Collection, but... Well, Halo 5 multiplayer saw a healthy population for the first year, and you know that meant that there was gonna be a battle rifle. Only this time, it was good. A little too good. Might be a little too good, if you see what I'm saying.
Hi, honey. How was your physical?
Good. Yeah. Too good. Matter of fact, you know what the doctor said? Doctor said I was too healthy. You know, in too good of shape. Don't even know how. Too good of shape.
You didn't go to your physical, did you?
I did not.
That thing was a f***ing laser, which is why I got nerfed. The battle rifle was the best gun in the game by far off the launch of Halo 5, and it showed. There were a lot of players who didn't even bother trying to learn the much more difficult to use Magnum because the battle rifle at the time was so much stronger. It was absolutely your go-to weapon. It was you could laser people across the map, no problem. You'd force people up close, easy kills. Most people picked up on this very quickly and started using it a lot. Now, the gun was a lot of fun to use, but it was way too good. And again, this shows that there are some balancing issues, and 343 has not quite nailed the battle rifle yet. So, what did they do? They tuned it, they nerfed it, they realized that the gun was way too strong, so they nerfed it. But how did they nerf it? Did they lower aim assist? Did they slow the burst speed down? What did they do? No, they added this weird f***ing recoil and made the gun feel like complete dog shit. It has this weird vertical kick, it feels clunky, the animations feel off because they slowed them down. I don't know, man, it doesn't feel like that go-to tool that I want to pick up and take to the fight, and you know, it doesn't feel fun. And then there's Halo 5's Halo 2 BR. This thing is also a f***ing laser beam, and it's dumb, and I hate it, and f*** this gun. I really don't have too much to say. This gun doesn't feel right in any way. It feels all sorts of wrong in my hands, and also feels way too easy, and also weirdly inconsistent as well. I'm not really sure. F*** this gun, I don't like it. You can love that gun, you can hate it, I don't know, but when Infinite comes out on that beautiful day, I want the battle rifle that we're all gonna be using for many years to come after that to feel really good. I want it to be a weapon we can all fall in love with. All right, so we've covered a couple different versions of the battle rifle now. So they either make it too inconsistent, too good, too weird, or too fucking stupid. Now, hold your horses there again, commenter. I know your reaction here is to still just hammer off in these comments and just start talking about how a 343 can't make a good weapon. Bullshit. That's bullshit, and I'll tell you why. Because Halo 5's Magnum is my favorite weapon in any game ever. Yes, you heard that correctly. I love it. And before you guys start spouting off in the comments about this and that and the Halo 5 Magnum, listen. All right. The Halo 5 Magnum is an amazing weapon. It's extremely fine-tuned for competitive play. It's great because it's effective at all ranges, but not easy to use at all ranges. The only range I would argue that this weapon is easy to use is mid-range, and even then, if you're playing against good players, it no longer becomes very easy. Up close, these Magnum fights you see at high levels in Halo 5 are some of the, and actually I would confidently say probably the hardest fights in the entire franchise, at least definitely in close quarters. The battle rifle makes these fights a lot easier with burst fire, making your shots have to be less precise, and the verticality options in Halo 5 make these fights absolutely insane, and the Magnum shots are extremely difficult. The long-range shots are also hard, and long-range fights can be extremely sweaty. The Halo 5 Magnum is a very well-tuned gun, and 343 is entirely responsible for that. So, 343 can totally make a great gun that I can absolutely fall in love with and still just be addicted to using, even 5 years later like I am with the Halo 5 Magnum. I love going for perfect kills with it. It feels incredible. But I just need them to do that with the battle rifle. I need the battle rifle, if that's going to be our main gun in Infinite, I need that to feel just as good as the Halo 5 Magnum. I need it to be an amazing weapon that's super rewarding and skillful, satisfying feeling to hit your shots. That's what I want to see. So, do I have complete faith that 343 is going to make the best weapon in Infinite? No, not really. I mean, I think they can totally do it. They made it in Halo 5. When Halo 5 launched and announced they were doing the Magnum, I was pissed. I went into it not wanting to like it, and I ended up loving it as much as you hear me talking about it now. So I totally think they can do it. Now, I am skeptical to see if they pull it off because, as I've pointed out, their other renditions of the battle rifle have always been lacking to me. So we'll see what they end up doing. So listen, I may be skeptical, but I'm sure they are very aware over at 343 of how important it is to make the main utility weapon satisfying to use, so I'm confident they're giving it their best. I just hope their best is good enough to satisfy my nitpicky ass. Dude, honestly, man, I just want to see Infinite gameplay so badly at this point. Like, I'm desperate, man. Like, it's 2020. Imagine this. Picture this. It's 2020, and I'm making videos over here about Halo 4 and shit. Like, bro, like, dog, what the fuck is that? Like, are you serious? Like, have you guys played that game? Listen, though. Low-key. I mean, like, lightweight. The game can be kind of fun. Like, sometimes you get that snipe, and you start beaming. Until you die and blame it on how shitty 343 is.